Hello everyone, my name's James Folino and welcome to another edition of the Gold Coast Auction and Sales Results. This week we'll be covering the week of February the 6th up until the 13th of 13th. And like we do every week, we'll go through some of the auction results for Australia-wide and clearance rates, and then we'll go into some of the properties. So I'm going to share my screen like we do, and we'll get straight into it for today. So here it is. Here are the auction results. As you can start to see, Queensland, as we've spoken about, never really quietened down over the break. But New South Wales and Victoria did slow a little bit over the Christmas New Year. Both, as you can see, they're back firing up again. They're still not at their levels of what they were pre-Christmas, but you've had Victoria's up at had over 700 auctions for the week. We're here to look at Queensland. Clearance rate in Queensland is very strong at 84%, and that gave Queensland a total sales volume of about 1,400 properties. Victoria was in second place with about 1,900 properties sold, and New South Wales has now gone back over the 2,000, having about 2,150 properties. So there's a lot of movement happening. Victoria and New South Wales are really ramping back up, but Queensland, again, didn't slow down and is still going quite strong. We're going to get straight into it and have a look at these properties. So let's have a look at the first one. We're going to go into it now, and this is it here. This one was at 9 Seabull Street in Southport. It was a Queenslander, older style home. It was on a 500 square metre block. It was a 3-bed, 1-bath. You can see from the aerial the proximity to the Broadwater. And this Queenslander sold for $780,000. The next one we're going to look at, I just wanted to show you this one. This was a block of land in Helensvale. It's a 500 square metre block. It was in the Surrounds estate. You get a 2-year membership at the local leisure centre if you do buy in that estate. And this block of land sold for 700. If you're thinking about someone was to put a home on this land, you know, somewhere between that 300 and 500 mark, just the wholesale value to buy the land and build the house, you're already up at 1.1, 1.2 million in Helensvale. So you can see that land has really increased in value on the Gold Coast. We're going to keep moving along. We're going to look at some cheaper ones now. We've got this one here in Southport. This was a townhouse. This was at 10/23 Ann Street in Southport. It was one of 10 in the block. It was a 3-bed, 2-bath with 2-car accommodation, brick and tile, double story, with an expected rental return of about $550 to $570 a week. And this one here in Southport sold for $592,000. The next one we're going to look at, we're going to go to Labrador. It was a little unit, a duplex, so 2 on the block. It's this little one here. It did have a courtyard. It was a 2-bed, 1-bath, 1-car home, quite small, very original. And this one was at 1/96 Imperial Parade. And this one here in Labrador sold for $370,000. The next one we're going to look at, we're going to stay in Labrador. We're going to go to 66/75 Browns Road, Labrador. This was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 2-car space, or 1 garage, 1-car space townhouse. There was a pool in the complex. It was double story. As you can see, brick and tile, very solidly built, lovely complex pool. And this one here in Labrador sold for $476,000. The next one we're going to look at is this one here. I just wanted to show this. This was in 1/130 Ugaree Street in Southport. This property was a new build. It was built and sold off the plan in the 14th of September 2020. So not too long ago, it was sold for $600 off the plan. And this sold again over the weekend at $725. So there was a fair bit of upside there for the person that purchased that off the plan. The next one we're going to look at, we're going to keep going through. We're going to look at this one. This is in Sunrise Boulevard in Surfers Paradise. There wasn't many photos. This one wasn't on the market long. I saw the board go up and a day later there was already a sold sticker on it. As you can see, very big 2-bedroom unit. So you've got a garage with a car space in front. You've got a laundry to the rear. It's got its 2 bedrooms, living, kitchen. So quite a large 2-bedroom. It does have water views. Other units in the area have been selling 450 plus, and this one, great buying at 360,000. Expected rental return in this area, 450 to 500. So someone really found themselves a great buy there. We're going to keep moving along. We're going to look at this one. This was an interesting one. This was at 88 Eagle Heights Road in Tamborine Mountain, just around the corner from the Gallery Walk, and a very tourist kind of area. This property here was a restaurant. There was a 90-seat restaurant. There was also a shop and also a dwelling, had parking for 8 cars. So anyone that's wanting that sort of lifestyle change, this was for them. This property was on over 1,000 square meters of land. Again, somewhere where you could live and work from home and potentially have a rental as well, being that there was 2 businesses on the land. As you can see, really nice from the inside. Anyone wanting a bit of a country feel, this was for them. About an hour from the beaches, and this one here in Tamborine Mountain sold 825,000. Next one we're going to look at, cheapest property I've seen for quite some time. I'm sure we know this area. It's called Curran Cove on Stradbroke Island. This was unit 1905 in Island Street, and this one's on the water. Unfortunately, Curran Cove, the resorts, had some trouble and the body corporates have ramped right up, hence the lower sale prices. But this one here on Curran Cove, this little studio apartment, again, beautiful on the water. This one here sold for the price of 65,000. That's right, 65,000. We're going to move along from that one, and I'm going to show you a bit of a larger block of land. It's this one. It's in Highland Park. This was at 12 Josephine in Highland Park. This was 4,000 square meters, so an acre. It had a pool, tennis court. It was 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, plenty of accommodation for cars, fully renovated house. And this beautiful home, and not too far, maybe we're talking about 30 minutes from the Gold Coast. This one here sold for 1.34 million. The next one's an interesting one, development site. It was sold. This is it here. Let's have a look at the listing. So we'll go to the listing. It was a block of land with an old house on it in 8 Bullimar Avenue in Burleigh Heads. It was sold. It was 549 square meters, older style home. And as you can see, it sold for 2.3 million. That's the one there. And then that back property was also sold. When we look at this one that we're looking at now, 8 Bullimar, if I just go back and show you this, it should take me there. It will. If we have a look, it sold, there it is. There's a sold history there. So it sold in 2021 in September for 2.37 million. So it sold for a little bit more. And then it just recently sold this year. So not even 4 months later, but it did sell for a bit less. I'm not sure if the purchaser of this one was the purchaser of the front block, but potentially it could be, and he wanted a big land site. And if we have a look at that front block, which is this one here, this was 7 Awonga, also in Burleigh. This one did have permits for 4 townhouses already. So this has already got permits. It's facing the water. This property here, and there's the plans for the permits. This one sold for 3.925 million. In saying that, with the permit for 4, the developers are paying $1 million a site. If they were to take the back property, potentially they're going to redo those plans to try and get more properties or more dwellings on this land, and then their development will then give a better return for them. But there's just an interesting one to see. This was another one that I found that was a good buy. Again, it's saying that it's off market. But this one here was a brick veneer double-story home in Parkwood. This was at 46 Jack Nicholas Way. It was a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-car with pool on a huge block of land of 958 square meters. Did some history on this property and found out that it was sold for $790 last year in February. And then if we have a look, this year it was sold recently, so not even a year later, but it was sold for $790 again. So in a year where the Gold Coast had 30% growth, I was expecting a property like this to be closer to the $1 million mark. But as you can see, it did sell for the same price that it sold a year ago. So again, someone bought themselves a good buy there as well. We're going to look at a couple of these ones to finish off. These are just some waterfronts. The first one's at 23 Oxley Drive in Paradise Point. Quite a busy road, probably one of the cheaper areas that you will find waterfront property. This is the one here. It's a brick home, lovely home. Beautiful water frontage as well. And this one here on the water, 717 square meters, 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car home. This one sold for 1.54 million. The last one we're going to look at, another waterfront home. This one was at 28 John Daly Drive in Helensvale. This was on 860 square meters, so a little bit bigger than the one in Paradise Point. Had an extra bedroom, 4-bed, 2-bath, 5-car home. Did have a swimming pool as well. And again, not as busy as the Paradise Point Oxley Drive. And this one here in Helensvale sold for 1.615 million. So they're the properties for this week. The Gold Coast is still going from strength to strength. And mainly that is due to the shortage of land. When land is bought, land is being developed, and there's just less and less houses close to the water. If you need any assistance with your property buying, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Otherwise, until next week, good luck with your property hunting, and I'll see you then. Take care. Have a good one.